UMAR AHMED IFL TV, MTK Global. We're in Liverpool, home of Liam Smith, not the Olympia, but the city. Just seen the other two brothers. We're going to get this Anfield card. Depends all on Callum, really, but
yeah, obviously it's a massive possibility. I think it looks a goer, but obviously we need Callum to come through next weekend. You know, come through in style. So you know, it'll all wait until once Callum's past this, and then we'll discuss it properly, I think.
How's Callum feeling? Because John Ryder's had a really good purple patch, some great performances, and I think perhaps the wider boxing audience, general public, are overlooking John Ryder in this fight. How's Callum feeling about it?
Very good, trained very well. I think if you've seen the shape of him the other day, all his checkways and that, he's in unbelievable shape. He's unfortunate for John Ryder. Callum hasn't overlooked John, and that's going to be a little bit on. I'm sure if you're John Ryder and John Ryder's team, then you're going to be wanting Callum to overlook you. And you know, unfortunately for John, he hasn't. He's done everything in camp. He's done everything asked of him, and he's in very good shape. He's in a good place, and he knows this whole Anfield thing rides on him winning. But never mind just the Anfield thing. The Anfield thing's a bonus for you know, life in general, and after boxing or boxed on Anfield. But let's not forget he's Ring Magazine champion. He's got a world title to keep hold of, and you know, that'll be the forefront. That'll be at the front of his mind. You know, he needs to stay world champion. No, he needs to win to fight in Anfield.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, you mentioned the Ring Magazine and his world title on the line. That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah,
but just
definitely.
On that Anfield thing, who would you like to see in box?
You know, anyone. I think you're talking about the purple patch for John Ryder, Callum Smith's in a purple patch. You know, George Groves, Hassan Nadan, getting better and better every challenge he comes up against. If you look back at every step up he's had from the English title in here, Patrick Mendy, great performance, Rocky Fielding, Mohammedi, all British, European, and then his world title George Groves, and then his first title defence. Every time he stepped up, he's produced a very, very good performance, and again, he'll look to do a very good performance with a second defence of his title, because he knows them big fights lie on the back of this. So, you know, to answer your question, I would love Golovkin, Billy Joe, Benavidez, Daniel Jacobs, Chavez winner, just any of them names that people sit up and take note of.
Didn't mention Canelo. I think it's going to be hard to get Canelo out of Vegas.
Only because I'm being realistic. You know, I've said if anyone beats Canelo Alvarez, I feel it's Callum Smith. But I know boxing, and I know there's no chance of Canelo coming to Anfield. So, Callum's got the Anfield date, then the Canelo fight's out the question.
There was rumours about you potentially fighting Jesse Vargas in Saudi Arabia. Can you just tell us what happened with that?
Yeah,
obviously not happening.
No, it was just to do with Vargas and Vargas' side. They didn't accept the December date. I'm sure I've heard whispers, and I know maybe Eddie and you know, MTK are going to work on that for March. Maybe try and get that at March over here or over there. But you know, I'm going to fight December regardless, and then I'll look for the big fight in 2020.
Well, you and Vargas might be chief support on that Anfield card if it happens.
Well, yeah, I think it might top its own card in March. I think that Eddie's got plans that not to wait. Obviously, it would be a very good chief support to the main event at Anfield, but.
That'll definitely sell out the Echo, like.
Yeah, it'll sell well anywhere, and you know, I sat with Eddie at the Farland Brian Road show, and he said to me, I love that fight. You know, you Vargas on a Saturday night, you know, no pay-per-view, it's a top bill. You know, it's so I know Eddie's keen on that fight, and hopefully it can be made, because I'm very keen on it. I'd love that fight.
That's right, I just think I said the Echo. It's not the Echo anymore, is it? It's the M&S.
Yeah, M&S, yeah.
Got to get that
everyone
right.
Still calls it the Echo.
Again, Jesse Vargas is one sort of opponent that you've been rumoured with. Kell Brook, he's searching for a fight. I think he's going to have a tick over at the end of the year. But him and you at a 54 is a massive fight, isn't it?
Yeah, but it depends how much you look into. Is he searching for the fight? You know, if he's searching, he doesn't really have to look far. I'm sure there's people who'd love to fight with Kell Brook. You know, me, I'm one of them included. I'd love that fight. It's a big fight for me, and I'm sure it'd be a big fight for British boxing. I'm sure if you announce Smithy Brook, you know, not many people will be disappointed by it, but obviously I understand his point of view, looking for Khan and looking for Crawford, but you know, you have to be realistic. Does he warrant them fights anymore? You know, he can't sit. He's got to fight, and you know, I'm not being disrespectful towards him, but he's got to fight to earn them. He can't really sit out the ring and keep just demanding a big name. I think he's probably hopes are set on the car fight now.
Do you think that's what he's just waiting for, AHMED?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he's waiting on the car fight, and because there's tough, decent fights out there for him, easy to be made, and he's not really jumping at the chance to get back in the ring. I know they've said he's back in the ring December, but is he? We're in November now, November the 15th now, and there's still no talks. He's not on the Saudi card, is he? So, I'm yet to see what he's doing with the rest of his career, really.
Okay. Just back to Callum Smith, actually. Yildirim is still mandatory for that WBC belt, and obviously he failed a test. What do you make of that situation?
I don't know, mate. It's just it's a joke, the WBC, with the situation. It's a joke how they've treated Callum, in my opinion. I think Eddie and Callum worked out. They've had 14, I could be wrong, but 14 WBC title fights and still never fought for the world title. You know, all being said, I mean WBC International, WBC Silver, WBC Diamond, and he's paid 14 WBC sanction fees. Obviously, they go up in paces and they go up with the Diamond title, and he still never fought for the world title, and he's still never been put in a mandatory position. I think, the way they're treating this drug thing now is a joke, really, and the new drug test thing seems to be you can have a certain trace of clenbuterol in your system and it won't fail a test. So
the threshold's been increased.
Yeah. And they brought something else in to say if it's just like the same trace as what they're getting caught with, where they can put it down to contaminated meat, then that won't come up as a failed test. So, I think it's a joke. Yeah.
Okay. Just lastly, I do want to ask about a tweet you put out during the KSI Logan Paul fight week.
I'm glad I don't get this on camera, because with 140 characters on a tweet, it's hard to get across.
Go on, explain yourself.
It was just some of the statements. Shannon Briggs, Logan Paul can win a world title in 3 years or fight for a heavyweight world title in 3 years. KSI saying he'll beat proper cruiserweights, prospects cruiserweights now. No, you won't. And no, you won't fight for the world title in 3 years. And that was my point. I was thinking, you don't really have to sell the fight. You're just sold anyway. You're two massive stars at whatever you do. I don't understand what they do. I don't understand what a YouTuber is, but I do understand that they're both massive names. They've both got millions of followers. They both sold out Manchester in a white collar fight. They both sold the Staples Centre in LA out in a pro fight. I understand what I couldn't care if they got 30 million each for that fight. It's not like, I'm bitter they're getting 30 million and we're getting nothing, but because they probably pay for themselves. It's their own fans, you know what I mean? Whatever money they generate, they're generating themselves, because no proper boxing fan is going to pay good money for it. So it's all their own fans that are paying their own money to see them. So it was not that. My point was just, have your fight and then try and do what you're going to say you're doing. If not, then just go back to doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? In a way, I do think it did disrespect us a little bit, because you've had fighters fighting for the whole lives, and all of a sudden these can get in the ring, call themselves professional boxers, and just to fight each other. You know what I mean? I thought that disrespected boxing a little bit. I want to play at Anfield. I'd love to play with Steven Gerrard. I can't turn up and say to Steven Gerrard, I've got 100,000 followers on Instagram, mate, can I play footy with you? You know what I mean? So that just is the nature of the beast here, the sport we're in. You can turn up, if you can sell a few tickets, then you can turn pro, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, whatever you've won, amateur, whatever you can do as a pro, doesn't really come into it.
Don't think anyone could argue with that. So it's not the fact they generated some.
No,
it's
not
just
the
the
fact
comments.
It was just the comments. What we're getting to me, and that's where I put just have your fight and fuck off, or stop doing things. They were going round they was professional boxers and been boxing for years. You know what I mean? And it was not the fact they were having a fight. Good on the 2 years you're having a fight. You're showing balls, as in, if one of you's got knocked clean out, mate, you were getting slated. And my biggest fear, I get nervous because I don't want to be on the end of a knockout that's shown all over Instagram, shown all over Twitter, and shown all over YouTube. And that's my biggest fear in boxing. And it's not to lose. I'm a man, and they both took. One of them, that Logan Paul, he took defeat quite well, but they showed a lot of bottle getting in. But it was just the comments that was getting to me. It was not the fact that they were on a box office show, or people saying I'm bitter because they're on pay-per-view. Mate, it was irrelevant to me. It cost me nothing. It was nothing out of my pocket, and I didn't lose nothing from that. Whatever money they earned, they generated themselves, because the big stars at whatever it is they do.
I think that's no. As I said, no one can argue that.
Yeah.
So it's good you cleared that up.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers for your time in Liverpool, Liam, and we look forward to some news on you. All right.
Yeah, nice one.
Good man.
Thanks.